This is Jessica Madison for my Comm 316 final on cultural conflict. I couldn't get it to voice record, so I'm having to record it like this. First, what is culture? Culture is the customary beliefs, social forms, or material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. Also, the characteristics, feature of everyday existence shared by the people in a place or a time. Culture is not just defined by that. There's many different things that put you into a culture, such as your age, race, religion, maybe your job, something you've chose to do, or involuntary. There's different kinds of groups you get into in a culture, voluntary and involuntary. The group I'm going to talk about is voluntary. Mine I chose was the teacher's strike. Being a teacher, you choose this as your profession and you go into it, which puts you in that culture. Teaching is a culture all on its own. You have a special bond with the others. And so the thing is, with this, they stood together. The teacher's strike happened in West Virginia in March. And so this picture shows the teacher's strike. All 55 counties in West Virginia closed due to pay and health care issues that the West Virginia government was not helping them with. They were trying to kind of bully them into what they wanted, and the teachers all stood together and said that they were not going to take it. This is a picture of the teachers at the Capitol. So whenever you look at this, one of the biggest things that came to my mind was nonverbal communication with the teachers. Nonverbal communication has many different things in it. Kinesthetics, which is a body movement. Emblem and illustrators, which is hand gestures and arms movements, facial expressions. Regulators, which are nonverbal acts. You have adapters, which are unconscious things that you do that kind of help you soothe yourself, like scratching. Sometimes people will scratch themselves, or playing with your hair, those kind of things. Osculus, which is your eye contact. Paralanguage is different things in your voice, like your pitch. Proxemics is space, how you use the space to relay your message. Haptics is touch. Olfactics is smell. And there's also physical appearance and dress are just a few of the things that you can use as nonverbals. On the teacher strike, they used a few of the different ones, and the biggest nonverbal they did was the strike. That was a very huge nonverbal action of all of them just, saying no. Another thing was proxemics. They went to the Capitol building themselves. Here, like I said in the picture, is teachers at the Capitol building. Another thing was their appearance and their dress. They all had matching shirts that said like 55 strong and things like that. So by going to the Capitol building using the proxemics, they were showing them that they were not afraid to come to basically their turf to help or to fight for what they wanted for this, to resolve this conflict. Another thing is, communication. I feel like these two signs speak words like so many volumes that I would rather be teaching, and we love your kids and we so support their teachers. A lot of teachers were telling the parents, with verbal, letting them know that this was, the easiest way they could do it, and that they would rather be teaching their children because that's what they love to do and that's what they had chose to do. This is another photo about the teacher strike. This was on the fourth day showing that happened. So a lot of people are like, well, why did the strike happen? And so it was a lot of communication errors. So I feel like when I was reading it and studying it, that the government tried a lot of more of a win-lose, win for them, lose for the teachers. And that was for, basically they intensified the conflict. They were arguing for their selves, for their side more, and they were more in a conflict mode. When if they would have been more in a win-win, they would have been more sensitive to the teachers. They would have been compromised, willing to change, and the teachers were willing to be lenient on some things as well. Also, on the Coles and Buller points, it talked about the different steps that they were doing. And you could say that the government was kind of forcing the teachers, and the teachers were trying to educate them. And it took a lot of collaboration to fix it. But in the end, they did come to a conclusion, and the conflict was resolved by using proper forms of communication. Thank you.